back with my weekly pregnancy update where I talk about my life as a pregnant lady for the last week and things that have changed and things that haven't, and show you some fun stuff and all that jazz. So as usual, I'm going to go through kind of my regular weekly stats, starting with weight gain, 1 pound. I ate a lot of pumpkin chocolate chip muffins and donuts since my last update. I'm going to talk about that more in a second, but yes. So now I'm up to an even 20 pound weight gain at my 25-week mark, which sounds fine to me. I think that's okay. I don't know. I see my doctor later this week, so I'll talk it over with her, but I feel good, and yeah, so there's that. Bump, every week I'm like, has it grown? Has it grown? Because I felt like there was such a marked growth at the, like right around the 20 to 22 week mark or so. And then the last couple of weeks, it's been like, I feel like it's getting bigger, but I'm not sure it looks that much bigger. I just feel like it may be taking on more of like a rounder shape, kind of more of that beach ball under your top kind of shape. But I do think it's grown. Baby has definitely grown. This week, she is comparable to the size of rutabaga. Just like, if you're like, what is rutabaga? It basically looks like a big turnip. So she, on average, baby measures 9 inches from crown to rump, or 13 inches total length at this time at 25 weeks, and weighs anywhere between 1.5 pounds and 1.75 pounds. So she's growing, and I do feel her. I keep forgetting to mention this. I have, felt consistent movement over the last month, really, which has been just so nice for me as a worrywart. And I've definitely noticed that she settles into, she's kind of has a schedule, at least in the last few weeks, that I've noticed that I feel her most often right before and after lunch, and right before and after my afternoon snack. And then of course I feel her other times of day as well, but that's like the consistent times of days that I know I feel her. The movement is still so subtle. Dawn hasn't really gotten to feel her on the outside. I've only felt her on the outside a couple of times, to be honest. I think it just depends on where she was. At my 20-week scan, when I was 21 weeks, I went to the 20-week scan, she had her head way down low near the right side of my pubic bone, and her feet were up, like straight from there on the right side of my uterus. She definitely flipped since then, I can tell. So her head is kind of more around my belly button area, maybe more towards the right side, and her feet are really low, like probably around my bladder. I mean, she can't really stretch out in there. They're kind of curled up in the uterus, right? That's why they always give the measurements from head to rump, because that's kind of how they situate. They kind of curl their legs up. Now that she's bigger, she can't really like stretch all the way. But so I think just the way she's situated, and the fact that I have the anterior placenta, which is the placenta, it just means it's attached in front, the front wall of my uterus instead of the back, so it's another barrier between me and baby. I just think it means that it's a little harder to feel her like forcefulness, but she's definitely kicking and she's definitely there. I'm going to talk to the doctor about it this week, because it is like, I don't want to say it's bothering me, but it's something that I think about, like, well, why don't I feel her more strongly now that I'm 25 weeks? And I know it's just like my crazy worrywart brain, but I do feel her every day, so I know she's like in there and kicking, but it's just not very strong yet. But she was measuring perfectly normal at that 20-week scan, so I know that, like, realistically I shouldn't be worried, but you can't help it. But I am, so every time I feel her, I just like to stop whatever I'm doing and smile and hold my belly and say hello. It's just fun. I already forgot the rest of the things I want to talk about. That's why I have my handy dandy notebook. Right, okay, so in terms of cravings, as I mentioned, I've been eating a lot of baked goods. I am a huge sweet tooth person in general. I have not been a huge sweet tooth person since becoming pregnant. I've mainly craved salty foods, at least in the very beginning, and then when it wasn't salty foods, it was like fruit. So it wasn't like I wanted cakes or chocolate or candy. I didn't want any. I mean, like I would eat it, but it's not like I was craving it, you know? I mean, I have a treat every once in a while. That all changed this past week. I was scrolling through Instagram one day and I saw somebody's picture of their pumpkin chocolate chip muffins, and I like immediately searched for that recipe and had to have them. And I have been having them. I've had like 1 or 2 muffins a day. Like they're little. I mean, they're not like big muffins, but and there's no oil or eggs in them, so they're actually like not terrible for you, but they do have a ton of, if you follow the recipe exactly, it has a ton of chocolate chips in it. And I'm actually going to share more about that in my favorites video in a couple of days, but I will post a link to the video below, a link to the recipe below if you guys want to check it out, because it's super easy. And additionally, we went to an apple orchard. If you saw my vlog from yesterday, I went with the women in my family. It's one of our traditions to do this like fall themed day every year, and we went to an apple orchard last weekend, and I bought the apple cider donuts, and I have been enjoying the apple cider donuts. That is one of my favorite treats every year regardless, but it's like extra good this year. So between that and the pumpkin chocolate chip muffins, I'm like all about the fall baked goods. So that's definitely been what I've been craving and what I've been letting myself have. And there is the pound, I think, right there. Versions, it's still fish. It's just, no thanks. And in terms of what I was talking about last week with the meat, I've noticed that, like, I don't like, when Donna asks me what I want for dinner, I can't think of anything. I can't think like, oh, I want chicken, oh, I want beef, I can't think of anything. So what he's been doing is just, I'm so lucky he makes dinner, by the way. Like, I know. He makes whatever, and then I just eat it. And it's not gross, and I don't feel grossed out by it, unless it's fish. He knows not to make fish, but that's been working out. I just think I haven't like actively wanted meat, but I'm eating it and I'm okay with it. I really only eat meat at dinner time. For lunch lately, I've been having more like lentil or bean soups and things like that. And in the morning I have eggs or like yogurt or some for protein as well. So I'm definitely getting enough protein. I just, haven't been like huge on the meat, but it's not like an aversion. I wouldn't call it that. Okay. Oh yeah, symptoms. So, the return of the Charlie horse cramping, the calf cramps, and now the foot cramps. Now this has only happened a few times in the last week, and notably it hasn't happened in the last few days. It was really more towards the beginning of the last week that I was waking up to those awful Charlie horse calf cramps in the morning on my right leg only, and then I would also get sometimes this like what I can only describe as a Charlie horse in my toes on my right foot. And that was really like kind of painful. And just like, I know how to work out a Charlie horse in my leg, but I could not figure out how to like get it out of my foot. I just had to wait it out. So I'm not sure what that's about. It might just be like coming off eating so much fresh fruit in Hawaii and just eating different kinds of fruit at home, mostly apples. I'm not eating as much things with potassium maybe. So I started eating some bananas, and I've noticed that the cramps have subsided. So hopefully that's the end of that chapter. And the frog in the throat, acid reflux thing is still there. And I heard what some of you guys said about not taking Tums. Honestly, I've only probably in my whole pregnancy taken like 6 Tums total. But yeah, I guess if you're concerned about ingredients and things like that, it's best not to do that. If there are other things you're more comfortable taking, one of my health practitioners recommended apple cider vinegar, which I used to shoot every day, and then I stopped taking my daily shot of apple cider vinegar when I became pregnant because it just kind of made me feel icky in my first trimester, and then I got out of the habit. Well, now I'm taking maybe about a tablespoon, like every mid to late afternoon, because I tend to get the frog in the throat in the evening, and that's been helping a lot, I've noticed. So that's kind of taking care of that. And those are really the only like standout symptoms I've had that are really noticeable and notable since since we last talked last week. And then in the world of baby, in the last week, we bought our nursery furniture. I am so ecstatic to have that crossed off my list because I knew we were getting down to the wire with ordering things, and I really wanted to order them and have them come sooner, but I just didn't, like, between Utah and trying to like figure out that nursery furniture and then going to Hawaii and all the travel and like the craziness in between, I just didn't have time to like do the proper research and sit down and really like figure out, narrow down the things, and then we didn't have time to like go look at stuff. So we finally did last week. I narrowed it down while we were in Hawaii. I did a lot of research. Don is very like, whatever about that kind of thing. I just, you know, I showed him everything. It's like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And he's like, really doesn't have an opinion. But we narrowed it down together to Romina brand furniture, and then a Dutaille. I'm not sure how to pronounce this chair company. It looks like a French name. It's a Canadian company. Romina is furniture that's made in Romania, actually. But the glider we picked is from Canada. And all of these pieces are made to order. And the chair, the glider, is custom order. So they are gonna take a very long time to get here. I did a whole blog post earlier in the week. I will link that for you guys up here for you in a little card, where I shared a look at the exact pieces we bought. They're not the exact color because they didn't have pictures of the wood finish that we chose, but you can see the crib, a dresser. I got a hutch for it, and we got a nightstand, and then we also got the glider. So I will link that for you guys if you want to see more details about that, but hoping it comes before, excuse me, I'm burping. Pregnancy burp. Before the baby comes. Honestly, it depends. Apparently Romina takes the holidays off. And I don't know when they go on, when their break starts in December, but if the furniture comes within a 12-week window, we're looking at like mid to late December delivery. And if not, it will be after the holidays. But to be honest, like, as much as I kind of wanted to have that all done while I wasn't caring for a newborn, just to have it like finished, you know, to be honest, she's gonna be in our room. We've already decided that. We're gonna get a little bassinet. I've already picked out which one and everything. I did a lot of research on that as well. She's gonna be in our room with us for at least a little while. Not in our bed. I'm not comfortable with co-sleeping, and I know that's like a really sensitive subject, and I'm not gonna go into my reasonings for it, but bassinet near us for a little while, and then she'll transition to her room. So I'm gonna have some time to get things together if the furniture doesn't come in before she's born. But I'm gonna have everything else that I can have done completed. Like, my next task for the nursery is to pick out a paint color, have the room painted, work on the window treatments, and then pick, you know, kind of narrow down the bedding I want, and any like wall decorations. I'm gonna have that all done in the next like month or two. So I'll keep you guys posted on little updates like that, and I'll do a whole video when all is said and done, but it might not be till after she's born, just so you know. Okay, now is the time in the video where I answer some of your questions that you guys left me in last week's comment section. A question I've actually gotten quite a bit since starting these updates is, when are we going to take baby girl to Disney World? And there's a lot of opinions about what age is appropriate for children to start going to Disney World. We've been to Disney World and seen people with infants, with 1 to 2 to 3-year-olds, and then people who insist on waiting until their children are 4 or older so they can really experience and enjoy. I mean, everybody has a different opinion, and my sentiments and Dawn's sentiments are that it really depends on the child. We don't know our child yet. We don't know what her personality is. We don't know what her disposition is. We don't know what, you know, how she functions in the world yet, because she's not here yet. I mean, she's with us, but she's not in the world yet. So I think that will be more of a game time decision. We definitely plan on taking her to Disney World as soon as we think she's ready and that it will be a good time for all of us. I really just think it depends on the child and the parents' attitude as well. That makes a huge difference. Like, of course, our Disney trips are going to be much different than they were just as a couple when we have a little one with us. And we both cannot wait to take her. I hope she likes it. I mean, she might not like Disney World, and that's okay too. It's not everybody's thing, you know, but we're very excited to you know, to show her that world. And also, you know, we have people in our family who really want to go together, like my in-laws and my sister-in-law and her little family. Like, we've all been talking over the years about how fun it will be to go together as a family with our little ones. So that adds another dimension to it. Well, going within a group dynamic with a family where you just have a little bit more hands-on help with, you know, grandma's there, and you've got, you know, grandpa and the husbands and everybody, and kids are kind of all in the same sort of young age range. That might be a more realistic thing to do earlier than when we take solo, like, family trips with her later. So we'll see, but we're definitely planning on doing that at some point. We're not going to Disney World until that point. Unless for some reason, unless I was to run in another race, and in which case we'd only go for the race, and we'd still probably bring her, but she'd probably be a baby. I have no idea if I'm gonna run in any Disney races in the foreseeable future. I know I'm gonna get questions about that. I'd love to, but we're gonna kind of have to see how things go with life with a baby and all that. So that's question number 1. Question number 2. Oh, I was asked about if I plan on homeschooling. I don't think so. Dawn has talked a little over the years about maybe wanting to, but we both kind of don't really want to at the same time. I think there's lots of benefits to it, but there's also drawbacks as well. We're very lucky to live in an area with a really good school district and really good options between public and private schooling. So I don't think there will be a lack of options for us when the time comes. Dawn comes from a family with a strong Montessori backgrounds. That's him and his sister both went to Montessori when they were younger. My mother-in-law was a Montessori teacher. She's really, like, that's her passion. One of her passion projects is the Montessori way of teaching, and my little niece Grace is actually in Montessori school and loves it. So that's probably an option for us, at least in the early years. But honestly, we haven't really started talking about it yet or thinking about it yet. I know in our country in this day and age, you kind of have to at this point if you want to consider like private schooling or anything like that. But I think Dawn and we both kind of feel pretty secure that we're gonna find a good option that is, you know, outside of the home. So I hope that answered that question. I'm not saying homeschooling's off the table or that I don't think it's a good thing, because I really don't know enough about it, and I can't comment on it as somebody with experience with it would. But just from both of our backgrounds, I think a more traditional school setting is something we're probably gonna consider first. And then lastly, I got a question if Don works from home or if he is going to be allotted some sort of paternity leave when baby is born, so we have time to bond as a family. Don is very, I mean, we're both very fortunate for his work that it is so flexible. He works from home a lot of the time. Sometimes he goes into the office. It's very flexible. The office is pretty close to our house, so it's not even that big of a deal when he goes in. And he's just got a very flexible schedule that he can kind of work around his own personal schedule. So I honestly don't know what that will look like in January when baby girl arrives, because his work is constantly shifting and changing, and he's still working for the same company, but his roles change because he kind of works in a more like consulting kind of position. So he works project to project, and I just don't know what kind of projects he'll be working on in January, but I am not concerned about him missing out on our the first few weeks of our time together as a family, because I know that he'll be able to be flexible about that and be home and be with us when we need him and when we want him to, you know, to be. So I think it's gonna work out really well. I'm gonna have Dawn do another one of these Q&A, like a pregnancy Q&A with me closer to the end of the pregnancy, and maybe we'll address that again there if you guys want to bring that up as a question then, and have him answer it. Be interesting to see his perspective. So that's it for the questions. So if you have a question you would like to ask me that's pregnancy or baby related that I can answer in next week's video, please leave it in the comments below. I love answering your questions, so much fun. And now is the portion of the video where I go through, oh my gosh, it's already 22 minutes in. Sorry guys, you guys know I can't do these short. Well anyway, now is the portion of the video where I show you any items that we've purchased or received as gifts for the baby. So like I mentioned, we went on this fall, I went with my, the women in my family on this like fall themed day last week to this apple orchard, Edwards Orchard actually, up in northern Illinois. And I bought a couple of things for the baby. First of all, the biggest board book I've ever seen, but so cute. No Matter What by Debbie, I'm gonna go with Gliori. It is such a sweet story, and I really like that it's like a really big board book, and it's got the kind of quality pictures and storyline that you would see in a normal paper children's book, you know, paper pages. That's what I wanted to say, but it's board book quality. So I really like that. I thought that was kind of unique. It's a really cute story too. And then I also bought this little baby soft-sided book called Shy Little Fox. And it's one of those ones with, you know, it's got like the crinkliness and the little mirror and the flaps to find things under. And I think it even squeaks. Yeah, it squeaks. She's gonna be so confused. So many baby toys are like dog toys. They squeak or they crinkle or whatever, and they kind of look like them too. It's gonna be so confusing, isn't it? Yeah. So those are the things I bought for the baby in the last week, other than the furniture. And then my cousin-in-law actually and my aunt gave us this little hat with the little ears. How cute is this? And this is by Beba Bean. Beba Bean, it's the 3 to 6 month hat. How cute is that? I just love it, little bear hat. Super cute. And then you guys sent us a lot of really sweet things, and thank you so much for thinking of us. As I say often, I don't want you to feel like you have to send us something, you know, for it to be, you know, I include these in the video because they're really sweet, lovely, thoughtful gifts. Not to be like showy, like look at what we got. But honestly, when you guys send your cards and your notes, that's what makes the biggest impact, and that's what means the most. And I just so enjoy hearing from you in that way. So if you want to send us a card, please go ahead and do. And if you want to give a gift, you know, donating to a local charity for mothers or children, or, you know, whatever charity of your choice, that's a really lovely gesture to do if you want to do something, but, you know, it's a personal choice. I understand the desire to send gifts because I'm definitely a gift giver too. It's just something I like to throw out there. But I'm gonna show you guys the gifts that we got. This one is from Melissa in Louisiana. First of all, look at this gorgeous handmade card. This is just absolutely beautiful. I love the queen bee. And Melissa made these bows. She said they're handmade bows, but she doesn't seem to have a shop. But look how cute they are. They're the kind of like the soft clip bows. Here. Like so. For baby, and I just love them. So there's this Christmas-me one, a white one, and then the one with the little pastel polka dots. Very sweet. I don't know if she sells these, but if I can find a shop for her, I will link it for you below. She is on YouTube. I don't know if she wants me to share her YouTube name though, so I'm not gonna do that because I don't know. But I will try to dig around and see if she sells these or if she just makes them for gifts personally or not. But thank you, Melissa. That is so sweet and thoughtful. I love that we're building baby girl's bow collection already because, you know, we like our bows around here. Felicity from Australia sent us a sweet gift as well. Look at this really cute baby mini card, like super cute. She sent us this little Bright Start, I don't know what we call these. They're like the things you clip on to a stroller or to a play bar, or a toy bar or whatever, but it's got the little jingly bit to it. And then she also sent this really, really beautiful white cardigan from Babies R Us. And this is in a 3-month size, but I really love the little ruffle detail, very sweet. Thank you, Felicity. She also wrote a lovely letter and told me more about herself and said that she made a donation to the Newborn Intensive Care Unit. Is that what it's called? Newborn Intensive Care Foundation. Thinking about keeping us in mind. So thank you so much. That is so generous of you. Mitzi from Massachusetts sent us this sweet card and a nice note as well. And she sent us Sophie the Giraffe. I was gonna register for this, but now I don't have to. Sophie the Giraffe is a very, very popular teether toy for babies, and all the pregnant people I've known in the past who've had children said their children have loved these. So I'm so excited we have one. And speaking of which, we actually have a backup because we got another gift that included one. This gorgeous box from the United Kingdom from Sophie. Actually, her name is Sophie, that's funny. She sent a couple of cards in it actually. This really gorgeous new baby card that she addressed to the whole family, and then a card just for me, which was really sweet. I love your guys' note. Your words mean so much to me. And this is a really fun care package of stuff. Another Sophie! So there's Sophie. You can kind of see Sophie better in here. And this one comes with a plush Sophie. Let me see if I can. Oh, it's kind of all together now. Well, here, you can kind of see her better. Plush Sophie, how cute is that? I think it's good to have 2 Sophies actually, especially if our baby ends up really liking it, because we could I could leave one in my diaper bag and then leave one up in the nursery or whatever, and then we never have to be without Sophie. So thank you, Sophie, for Sophie. But Sophie, this is confusing because I'm saying Sophie so many times, sent a lot of other things too. A beautiful outfit from the Little White Company in London. Like, how precious is this like dove gray dress with the kind of tulle skirt, and then this gorgeous pink cardigan to go with it, or to wear with other things. So precious. I just love these little socks. These are the first, are these the first socks that we've gotten for baby? Now I'm having pregnancy brain, like memory lapse, but so sweet. I love them. They feel really cushy and soft, and they're just so cute. And then she also sent a couple of what she says were a couple of her favorite books growing up in England, and also I guess she's a teacher and her students really enjoy these as well. A couple of board books, Mog the Forgetful Cat and Paddington. I love this. We actually have this book in non-board book form, but I'm glad we have it in board book form because then, you know, it's more baby friendly for the first, you know, year or whatever, and then when we graduate to, you know, the kind of pages we can tear that mommy doesn't want to tear, then we can go to the big book. But it's nice to have this, and I'm so grateful for this beautiful London baby care package. Thank you so much, Sophie. And then lastly, Christine, who from New York, who is a longtime viewer of mine. I've recognized her name. She's sent me many cards and little sweet things over the years. Sent this really darling card. I love how all of the cards are so cute and unique, and I'm just so surprised that we really haven't gotten doubles, because you wouldn't think there's that many baby cards, but apparently they are. And Christine sent a really sweet note, and then a couple of little gifts. She sent these belly stickers, baby's first year. So I guess these are little stickers you can put on a onesie to take, you know, milestone photos with. So that's really cute. It says peel, stick, click. And then these little keepsake photo treasure boxes. And the little one at the top says first tooth, and then first lock of hair, and first treasure. And you can slip in a photo of your child in there. So I thought this was really, really beautiful. Just a really thoughtful, sweet gift. So thank you so much, Christine. That was really sweet of you, and I appreciate you, your support over the years. Then we got a couple of cards. This one is from Lena in Germany. How cute is that? Lena wrote a really nice note. She's been a longtime viewer as well. Thank you so much for your kind words, Lena. Just beautiful. And then this really cute card is from sisters in Maryland, Kim and Jen, and they are viewers as well, and just really sweet, nice sentiments inside. So thank you guys for sharing your kind words and thoughts with me, as always, in the comments, on my social media, in my mailbox. You guys are so sweet, and I appreciate you so much. So I'm sorry this was another doozy of a video. I guess they're just always going to be a half an hour long, but I will see you guys again next week with an update. And in the meantime, be well, take care, And thank you for watching. Bye, you guys.